For every veteran who saw the World War II memorial, 4 did not live to see it. And so that is a bit of a problem. I don't want to see that happen to our generation, where we're long and dead and our service and sacrifice is never honored or remembered. My name is Sergeant Chad Longell of the United States Army. I served in Iraq in 2009 and in Afghanistan in 2013. I'm a member of the Board of Directors of the Global War on Terrorism Memorial Foundation. Being that the global war on terrorism is going to likely be a generational war, we realized that more than likely, if we waited until the so-called end of the war, many generations would never see a memorial built in honor of their service and sacrifice. There was another gentleman, a captain who was a helicopter pilot in Afghanistan named Andrew Brennan. We said, why don't we join our teams, join our networks, and the two of us, two average veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, can come together and make this happen for an entire generation. And many people have asked us, well, why now? The war is still going on. Why have a memorial? Well, when the United States seized the first airfield in Kandahar in Afghanistan in October 2001, the average company first sergeant was about 40 years old. Today he's 56. By the time this memorial is complete, he'll be in his 60s, bringing his grandkids to the memorial. And I do not want to see his grandkids come to that memorial without him. Our memorial is going to memorialize the service and sacrifice of everyone who's been involved in this war. We're calling it the Global War on Terrorism Memorial because that is how the Department of Defense has designated this particular war. That's what our service, you see I wear my service ribbon here, it's called the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. There was an act passed in Congress called the Commemorative Works Act of 1986. As part of that act, it requires a 10-year waiting period till the end of hostilities in order to have Congress commission a national war memorial. Today's global war on terrorism is the longest ongoing war. We don't know when it will end. That 10-year restriction on the end of a global conflict like the global war on terrorism is likely not to happen in our generation. Our act before Congress does not change the Commemorative Works Act. All it merely does is ask for an exemption for that time frame so we can begin the process of building this memorial and healing the nation. And once we finish getting our authorization, we'll have about a 2-year process of working with the Department of Interior to select a site somewhere on the National Mall. And then at that point, we will work to launch a national design competition with many, many veterans involved in their input. And we will select a design and then go on from there to construction, and it will be built mostly by veterans, and then we will have a dedication hopefully by Veterans Day of 2024. This memorial isn't just an act of remembrance, it's a continued call to action. The way we can truly honor and remember the service and sacrifice of this war is to get this memorial built, so that way future generations, when they come to Washington, D.C. and they see the National Mall, they are reminded that America's longest war is still ongoing and that our service and sacrifice deserves an opportunity to have their voices heard.